let's talk about a story map, because that is
Okay.
something else that you guys provide, and I think is a wonderful way to tell a personal story of a World War II soldier through a web map.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I'll just share with you my screen here.
All
We
right.
recently did another update where you can see a story map menu. So you can see some of the featured story maps we've worked on.
Wow.
We just had one come online, Operation Neptune, Juno Beach. But this was the one that started us all. This is Lance Corporal George Pullard. When Nathan and I were digitizing last year at the archives in Canada, we were digitizing a unit that we'd never come across a digital copy of this, and we'd asked everybody and we couldn't find it, so we had to go down to Ottawa, a few hours away for both of us, and scan George Pullard's unit.
Right.
And one of our volunteers actually, who's is the nephew of Lance Corporal Pollard,
Wow.
and he uh, wrote a book about the Lance Corporal Pollard, and it sort of starts out with his journey as a young man in Cornwall. I'll zoom out a bit so you can see where this is, right? So, you're obviously the Netherlands. Cornwall is on the St. Lawrence River,
Cornwall,
east of
Canada.
Montreal, an hour away from me. Um, and he joined up a unit called the Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry Highlanders. And he got deployed to England, where he trained for about 3 or 4 years, and he was part of 9th Infantry Brigade, which on the morning of June 6th made its way across the English Channel and would be the last Canadian infantry unit, or the last Canadian infantry brigade to land that day in
Hmm.
Juno, later on in the afternoon. So yeah, we started scanning all these documents. We were aware of the story of Lance Corporal Pollard, and when we
Right.
came across the war diaries in Ottawa, we found that there was actually documents that talked about the night that Lance Corporal Pollard and an officer went missing on a patrol around Buron, which is about 10 to 15 kilometers, I would say 10 miles in on Juno Beach.
Right.
You can see right here, it's Caron. So
I,
it's
lo-
not
I love how
right
you scroll along and then the map takes you to the to the
to
point that you're talking
the
about,
yeah. So, and
you're
you can
reading
see
about.
here, Joey, there's like a great example. This is a map we found in the unit that talks about Vieux-Caron. I don't know if you can see, it's probably too small, but it's the town right here. And some soldier had gone in and drawn the elevation features of the slope that was in front of him,
Uh-huh.
because it sort of gradually rose towards the German positions a few hundred meters in front of him, right?
Right.
So on the night of, you can see a site sketch. This is all stuff that we found in the archives that had sort of never been seen before, and we're going looking for their narrative
Ah.
uh, to find out the coordinates of where they were on particular dates, and then here we are. We're hopping right into a super personal connection to us and the story of their uncle, right? And
Right.
these documents put us in the exact place where that
Wow.
patrol started last year in Normandy, right? And
Wow.
Nathan and I stood at the bottom of this hill, or maybe a little bit over here, and we walked the position of this patrol that Lieutenant Williams and Lance Corporal Pullard went missing on. So,
Wow.
here's the patrol report. you know, they made it up this little valley, and all these, you know, positions at the top of this slope. You can't see it on this map, but there's elevation here, are
Right.
German machine gun positions. So Lance Corporal Pollar and his patrol went up on a mission to destroy tanks. They tripped 2 tripwires that set off strobe lights pointing in the directions of the Germans. So the Germans knew something was coming because these lights, you know, started to flash as one soldier crossed it. It sort of, okay, they're coming up the hill or whatever. And anyways, all hell broke loose. You know, all these positions up here outside Grouchy decimated the patrol that night. And, you know, as the ambush was sort of, or as the patrol was ambushed, some soldiers made it back towards the bottom of the hill, Vieux-Caron. You know, they made it back one by one, but Corporal Pollard and Lieutenant Williams were missing. They had been taken prisoner by 12th SS units in the area.
Wow.
They'd been brought to the regimental headquarters where they were subsequently executed with 19 other Canadians.
Really?
Yeah. So,
wow.
You know, to see literally the route that they took before they were picked up and murdered by German soldiers is, you know, this area is probably less than a mile and a half, right?
Right.
So, anyways, this is the great thing about the story map. I know it's like telling a story here because it's amazing, but
that's wonderful.
you know, the finer details